Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever applied for a retail job, you already know the drill from the outside, right? Polishing your resume, waiting for the phone to ring, just hoping to stand out in a massive sea of applicants. It's a stressful viewpoint. But today, we're going to completely flip the script. We're getting out of the applicant's anxious seat and sitting right in the recruiter's strategic chair. We're going to explore the purpose and importance of recruitment, the factors that affect it, the specific policies and methods used, and some recent trends. Basically, we're looking at the massive, highly organized funnel that retail organizations use to find, attract, and actually hire the perfect talent.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at the heart of retail, figure out exactly where to find talent, and break down the methods used to attract them. Then we'll walk through the actual step-by-step recruitment process, clear up a massive misconception about recruitment versus selection, and finally take a peek at the future of hiring. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The heart of retail, balancing capital and labor.
Retail is an industry with incredibly high stakes. To actually stay profitable, these organizations have to constantly balance their capital with some seriously intensive labor needs. Edwin Flippo, a major voice in HR, captured the ultimate strategy perfectly when he defined recruitment as the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. So it's not just about, filling an empty chair. It's a deliberate, calculated process. Think of it like building a strategic talent pool, a reservoir of potential that the company can just tap into whenever they need it.
And when we look at the specific purposes behind this process, it's remarkably forward-thinking. Sure, the immediate goal is to increase the candidate pool and infuse some fresh blood into the organization. But more importantly, it's about anticipating future needs. Retail recruiters are literally tasked with finding people for positions that might not even exist yet. It's absolutely crucial for securing the future growth of the company. And this is all driven by strict recruitment policies that ensure organizations are actively identifying talent on a global scale, rather than just frantically reacting to local gaps when someone quits.
All right, moving on to Part 2. Where to find talent. Casting the net.
Depending on a company's internal policies and, honestly, the external economic factors at play, recruiters usually divide their talent hunt into two main sources. First, they look inward. Internal sources mean things like promotions or internal job postings, often called IJPs. This route is incredibly reliable, it totally motivates your existing staff, and crucially, there is practically zero hiring cost. But on the flip side, you have external sources. This is where you look outward, to private search firms, educational institutions, or even unsolicited walk-ins. This allows the organization to cast a much wider net and catch entirely new skill sets.
Now, what's really interesting here is the strict, high-stakes trade-off of external hiring. On the merits side, obviously, you get a wide choice. You get that injection of fresh blood, and you create a competitive atmosphere that can really drive innovation. But the demerits? They are steep. It is highly expensive, incredibly time-consuming, and worst of all, it can deeply demotivate your current loyal employees who might feel like their hard work was completely ignored for a promotion.
Okay, Part 3. The methods of attraction. Pulling them in.
Because once HR figures out where the talent is, they need concrete, active methods to pull those candidates into their reservoir. Let's briefly look at the internal methods first. Beyond standard promotions or posting jobs on company bulletin boards, one of the absolutely most popular methods is the employee referral. And the logic here is beautifully simple. It takes one to know one. Companies heavily rely on this. They'll often dangle pretty sweet referral bonuses in front of existing employees who recommend a successful new hire from their own personal network.
For external methods, the toolkit is vast. You've got campus recruitment to grab fresh, energetic talent right out of school and highly imaginative advertisements. But pay attention to the specifics here because it varies by role. For semi-skilled daily workers, retailers use something called gate hiring. This is where job seekers literally show up right at the store gate for daily tasks, like unloading trucks. At the complete opposite end of the spectrum, for top executive roles, retailers pay premium fees to specialized private search firms, think places like Noble and Hewitt, to quietly hunt down top-tier industry leaders.
Which brings us to Part 4, the recruitment process, filtering the funnel.
Managing this entire funnel requires a complete, resource-heavy 7-step cycle. It's a continuous, grinding effort that demands a massive amount of time and energy from the HR department.
The process kicks off simply enough, spotting a vacancy, step 1. From there, step 2, HR has to write a highly precise job description and person specification. Step 3 is blasting out that advertisement using those methods we just talked about. And step 4, well, step 4 is monumental. It's managing the response. This is the moment the floodgates open and a massive wave of applications pours into the top of our funnel.
Then, the funnel finally starts to narrow down. Step 5 is shortlisting. That's the painstaking work of scanning and segregating the good resumes from the bad ones. Step 6 is tackling the absolute logistical nightmare of arranging the interviews. We're talking venues, coordinating panel schedules, prepping evaluation sheets, and finally, step 7 is actually conducting the interview and making that final hiring decision.
Part 5, Recruitment versus Selection, Creating Contrast.
Now, people out in the real world use these two words interchangeably all the time, but in the corporate world, they are exact opposites. It's a crucial distinction. Recruitment is inherently positive. It's all about collecting sources and encouraging as many applicants as possible to throw their hat in the ring. There is no contract involved at this stage. Selection, however, is a process of elimination. It is inherently negative. Its entire purpose is rejection, filtering out the unsuitable candidates until you're left at the final few. And that is what ultimately results in a binding contract of service.
Finally, let's look at Part 6, the future of hiring, upgrading the funnel.
Retail organizations are constantly having to upgrade this entire funnel just to survive in a fiercely competitive landscape, and one of the biggest recent trends is employer branding. Check this out. A recent Glassdoor survey shows a staggering 92% of retail employees would jump to a completely new opportunity for the exact same salary if the new company had a better reputation. I mean, think about that. The brand's image as an employer is doing all the heavy lifting before an HR rep even picks up the phone.
Furthermore, we're seeing a massive shift toward quality over quantity. In unstable markets to growing economies, in times when staffing budgets are just aggressively tightened, a company simply cannot afford a bad hire. The sheer quality of every single new recruit becomes absolutely critical for business survival. I mean, one bad hire can literally cost a company thousands of dollars.
So, to ensure this high quality efficiently, companies are relying heavily on technology to build proactive talent pools. Instead of treating every open role as a brand new, from-scratch project, automated HR tools allow recruiters to pre-sort uploaded resumes by skill set, seniority, or location. This means when a job finally does open up, they can skip the initial screening process entirely. It saves a massive amount of time and significantly accelerates the time to hire.
Which leaves us at a pretty fascinating crossroads. We've seen exactly how this strategic funnel works, from casting the wide net of attraction to the strict negative narrowing of selection, all of which is increasingly aided by tech. But I'm going to leave you with this final thought. As HR tools build these automated talent pools to save time and money, will the future of recruitment lose its human touch entirely? Or will this technology simply free up recruiters to be more human when it truly counts? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the process, and I'll catch you next time.